Hey, we're back with another video, and in this one, I'll show you the head. We've got a little progress. Got the left outer wing panel infilled to the point where I need to stop so I can pull wire. I've also shaped the leading edge, taken the wingtip down just a bit. We're not quite there yet on any of that. The leading edge still needs more profiling. Trailing edge has been taken down, still has a little bit more to do. But I didn't want to sand them, to complete profile now, because I'm still going to be using filler and sanding, and with that comes reduction. So if I take it right down to profile here and then start using filler and sanding that, pretty soon we're going to be small. We're going to be digging into the profile and digging into the wing a little too far. So anyway, this is where I stopped. Just getting the leading and trailing edge, about, I don't know, halfway to 2/3 of the way home, and then come back at the end. And after I get the wire pulled and get the get that center channel filled, infilled with balsa, then I can start using filler and finishing up. But right now, this is the current position we're in with the airplane. Right, so I mentioned that and this is where we are at on the starboard wing. Okay, right wing. The way to remember port and starboard, there's an easy way. The three shortest words: red, left, and port. So the red light goes on the left wing, which is on the port side. And the three longest words, green, starboard, and right, are the three longer words out of those selections. So red is a short word, shorter than green. Left is shorter than right. And port is shorter than starboard. So the three short words go on the left, and the three long words go on the right. So on the right side, you have the green light on the right side wing, which is on the starboard side of the airplane. Red, left, port; right, green, starboard. Okay, that's how my dad told me to remember it. Or you can just remember the sailors would say just red, left, port, and that's how they knew that was where the red light was. Red, left, port side. Like it was a sentence: red, left, port. Anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. So you can see the difference in the profile of the leading edge. See the difference on the trailing edge. Right, wingtip still thick and straight. Needs to be pared down like the other one. But I got to finish the infill first. And again, the infill is going to be taken down, except for in the area of this center channel where I'm going to be pulling wire and twisting wire and connecting wire and shrink wrapping wire. So anyway, the other thing I want to talk about is the aileron. So this is our that's the wrong side. I need this one. What do I do with the other one? I don't know. All right, no, that is the right one. I have this upside down. Okay, here we go. So this is the left wing, as I have it marked left, and I should have known better. We can see that the aileron is shorter than the opening. If I shove it all the way up against the wingtip opening side, I've got a pretty wide opening down here. I've got more than 1/8 of an inch down here. So what I'm going to do is add a sister piece, a 16th. I think this is 16th. So I'll just put something like this on here. Let's just put something like this on here. And what we'll do is we'll take our marker and trace it on there. All right. Trace that shape onto our 16th balsa. Since we don't need this anymore. And what we'll do, simply then and therefore, is cut that part and stick it right on there. We'll do that right now, since we know for a fact the aileron is too short for the opening, or the opening is too long for the aileron. So let's do that. Let's fix it. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. All right. Sorry about that. Which wing is it? This one. So we check it. We see it's a little bit oversized, but that's fine. Once we get it glued in there, we'll pare it down. Let's see if I got this going the right way. Yeah, right there. Okay, so let's glue that on, and then we'll straighten it out. By that I mean clean it up and make it fit. Just a little adhesive. I'm going to go on this way. Since we traced it on this side, let me get this for you. We traced it on this side, so we know that goes this way. And we want to butt it up against the, you know, the majigger, and press it onto the other majigger. And just make sure that it's good and tight. Make sure it goes in tight, and then now you can see we've got a better fit there. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, it's better. It's still not. I don't want it to be like, you know, so tight that the aileron won't move. I'm still deciding whether I even want the aileron to move, or if I'm just going to, you know, cement them in place and not worry about positionable ailerons at this point. I don't know. Haven't decided, so some of those decisions are, you know, left to the last minute. Some of them can't be, some of them can be left to the last minute. So anyway, this is the easiest, quickest way to fit a part, that I know of. And I just whacked it. It's all right. It's a problem with the grain running one way or the other. Is in one direction or another, it's going to be vulnerable to some sort of dealio. Oh, come on now. Can you wait till I'm on camera to do that stuff? Alright, let's see. I think we want to be this way. Yeah, right. Sort of there. Nope, more this way, I think. Oh, there's the ink. Well, we'll get it. In the meantime, you can watch me fumble this around. Oh, okay. Now it's going to stick to my fingers. And it's going to make me holler a dirty word. And, oh, no. Maybe not. Yeah, that's good enough. So once it's stuck on there again, we'll sand it again. One thing that I can do to help in situations like this, I can't do it right this minute. I have to wait till this cures and just sand it a little bit. But then this stuff here goes a long way towards strengthening the balsa in vulnerable areas, not on the ends and edges, as it were, as that is. So I'm just going to let that dry and harden up, and then I'll come back and paint some of the sand and seal on top of that. And that'll stiffen her right up, and we'll be good to go. So the other thing I want to talk about in this video is handling these plastic parts. Now, I'm not going to be using these wishbone leg supports. These are the ones that come off of the lower trailing edge of or fittings on the landing gear leg, and go and run up into the nacelle on the underside of the wing. They run into the landing gear well. And this has to be cut out. So we're going to be cutting a strip of an opening here, you know, about, well, however long this stem is about how long that opening will need to be. And it just needs to be a skinny little, you know, straight, about I don't know, little over an eighth of an inch wide, and just enough to fit the leg of this support arm. So I'll be actually making these again out of aluminum and, you know, solder and tubing and whatnot. But I thought for, you know, some people who are working on balsa models, maybe you're new to it and you don't know some of the tricks. I've showed you how, what I like to do in some cases is trace around the part when it's a flat back part. Okay, this is another thing we didn't talk about. A flat back part like this versus something that's, and of course now I don't really have anything that's, but like a pilot figure or something that's not a flat back. So on some parts you can trace around them like this and it's easier, like the round parts are especially easier to do this way that I'm showing you here with this. And you would trace around a round part and then you hold the blade steady and you turn the part, not drag the blade around like I'm doing with the pen. The pen you drag around, but the blade, if you've got a round part, once you've drawn your black line, you can just hold the blade steady and turn the part, provided it's a flat back part like this. Or you can trace around, if it's part like this, and you trace around it and drag the blade around it, you know, and the line gives you a clear reference, so you know exactly where your blade needs to be. If you don't use the ink and you start, you know, doing this, if you've got great eyesight, you know, you're going to be fine, probably. I like to use the black just so that I can clearly see exactly what's happening. But in any case, another way to get these off, if you're not confident with a blade, or if you're new to this kind of thing and you don't want to slip, slice apart, and then have to deal with getting a replacement, or, and I'll tell you, emailing, you know, these companies, Guillow, Dumas, Her Engineering, Sterling, whoever, I mean, they're all very good about this. In my experience, I've never had a problem getting a replacement part if I need one. Whole sheet of vacu-formed plastic if I need it. Even if I don't, you know, have the kit and I just want to use the parts for something else, you can order just about anything from them. If it's a replacement part, usually they'll just send you the part. You know, you might have to pay postage. You might have, but I don't think I've even done that. But the other way to get these off when they're a flat back is to just sand it like this. And this way you don't have to do really, you don't have to do any cutting. Do it this way, you don't have to do any cutting. Now it takes a minute to sand through this stuff, especially when they use the heavier plastic. And you might need to use a heavier sandpaper grit. Let me just see what I got here. Let's try this one. This might be a little faster. You don't want to get crazy. I mean, this is probably 100 grit. Well, this is 100 grit, so this is probably 120. But, you know, do what you're comfortable doing. You don't want to sand into the part, but if you sand for a minute or two, you sand right through this joint where the backer, where the part meets to the part you want meets to the backer, the sheet. Like I said, it can take you a minute to sand it enough. And if that bothers you, you know, that sound, some people don't like it. My wife would be climbing the walls if she was in here right now. She probably won't look at this video for more than a second. Doesn't really look at it, too many of them. But at any rate, you keep going until you start to see, well, there's a little bit of crazing that happens right at the juncture of where the part is delineated from the background plastic. Hello. Right, anyway, so you just kind of keep doing that. Now I have to finish. We have to get through this now. I started this. Now, if I don't finish, you're not going to believe, well, that doesn't work, really. He didn't actually go until he could take the part off. And now I don't think I believe the guy on the video, because he didn't do it when he didn't keep going. So now I have to keep going. So here we are doing this. Now we're doing this. We're doing this now. I wish I had thought this through. and had one already done that I could just hold up and say, see? But I didn't do that. You know, part of me is Canadian. And when I succeed at something, I say, well, it's because I'm part Canadian. But when I fail at something, I say, you know, it's because I'm part Canadian. And then, you know, if I'm accidentally hilarious, I might say, well, it has nothing to do with my Canadianness. But if I'm trying to be funny and it falls flat, well, then I'm Canadian. Anyway, the point is, what you want to do is blame Canada. Now I say that, but I am Canadian, so I'm not trying to be funny. If I am being funny and I don't know it, it's probably because I'm Canadian. All right. So now we're starting to get, you see where we're starting to get here? You see how this is now? See how, you see what's happening here? I don't know if you do, but see how it's coming straight and it's cutting that part nice and clean, right? Right where it needs to cut it. So now we're gonna forgo the coarser sandpaper. We're gonna go with this finer grit now because we don't want to get too deep. We don't want to go into the part. We just want to get this backer cleared away. So what you might do is you might work it around a little bit. You know, you might do that. You don't have to. And you don't want to get frisky with it, right? If you start getting, you know, frisky, you can split the part. You know, get a little frisky, and next thing you know, it's doing things you don't want it to do. But if it's doing the things you want it to do, well then, you know, that's what we want. We want to get this part out of here. We want to do it without risking, you know, the blade slicing our finger or, you know, our part and running into a delay on our project.